Is the Google Nest Wi-Fi the complete package for keeping all of your devices connected? That is what we're going to be talking about in today's video, so stay tuned. Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. My name is Steve from the YouTube channel Steve Does, and I want to thank you for joining me here at reviews.org. Today we're taking a look at the new Google Nest Wi-Fi. Now they've renamed this. It used to be the Google Wi-Fi, but they've converted the Nest name over to all of their new smart home products. So we're taking a look at this one. In this one here, we have got the router and then we have got the point. So this is going to create a mesh network throughout the house to be able to give us a great coverage throughout the entire house. Now, this product right here covers up to 3,800 square feet. Now that is a lot of house. You may think my house is not that big, but also keep in mind that this is also going to get the yard too. So if you have a bigger yard, this is going to reach out to extended areas like that outside of your home too. So now in the video today, I'm gonna show you guys what comes in this box. We're gonna go through the setup process, and then I'm gonna show you guys some extra ways to get more out of the Google Nest Wi-Fi here. But before we get started, don't forget to hit that subscribe and notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos like this one. With that said, let's get started. All right, so let's take a look at what comes in the box here. All right, so here we have the router. It's got a nice matte white finish to it. Kind of looks like a marshmallow, but I really like that it has a matte finish and not something glossy that's gonna reflect light on there. If we take a look at the bottom, we have got 3 different ports down here. We've got one that's gonna connect to the modem, one for the power, and the other one is going to connect to either a switch or you can plug something else into it, a PC, something like that. But it only has the 3 ports down here. And if we flip it over, we can see that it's got a little notch there that cables can run through. Now, taking a look at the access point here, it's got microphones on the top. That's going to be for the Google Assistant. And if we look down here at the bottom, we see the grill for the speaker that's going to be down there. So that's going to be where the speaker is going to be. It's at 360. On the back, we have got the power ports, and then we've also got a switch for muting that if you don't want to use the Google Assistant on there. But it's got the same look. It's a little bit smaller than the router itself, but nice same look. This is definitely something that I wouldn't mind having, displayed in the house so that way people can see it. It's not some ugly thing. Now, if we look underneath here, we've got our Get Started guide, and then we also have our power cables. So we've got 2 power cables, one for each of them. Power right there, and then in here we have got our network cable. So we've got a 6.5 foot network cable in here. So if you need to use that to plug it in to your modem, that's what you'll use. All right, now that we've seen what comes in the box, let's start getting this thing set up. Okay, so you're gonna start by plugging the router in and letting it go through its startup process. Then we're gonna go over to the phone and load up the Google Home app. Up in the top left corner is the plus sign. We're gonna click on that and click Set up a device. From there, we're gonna click on Add New Device, and it's gonna start searching for the router. Once the device has been found, it's gonna ask you to scan the QR code that is on the bottom of the router, and then you're gonna connect the phone to the new Wi-Fi. Once you're connected, it's gonna ask you to create a name and password for the new Wi-Fi. Next, you'll be asked if you want to turn on Nest Wi-Fi cloud services. This is going to collect stuff like data usage, history, and some other metrics that I'll show you guys how to use later. It's going to finalize the setup, and then it's going to ask you if you have any more devices that you want to add. Since I do have a point that I want to add, I'm going to go through the exact same steps, follow the on-screen prompt, and it's going to set up that additional point that I have. Once you have that second device set up, it's going to run a mesh test to make sure that your connection is strong. Once that's done, it's going to reset both devices, and then you're going to be all done with the setup. In the Google Home app, you can manage all of your Wi-Fi basics. You're able to run internet speed tests, test your mesh network to make sure that it's strong. You can also set up family and guest Wi-Fi networks. But if you want to modify your data better, I'm going to show you how to do that in this next step. So as you guys saw, we use the Google Home app to set up the device and go through some of the settings there. But there's an additional app that you can use to monitor your Google Wi-Fi, and that is the Google Wi-Fi app. So I'm going to launch the Google Wi-Fi app here, and what you can see is that here is my internet setup. So it says internet to the Wi-Fi points, which I have 2 points, and how many devices are connected. So if I click on my devices right here, it's gonna load up in real time what each device is using. So for a few of these, as I was adding them, I did rename them. So you can see the Simply Safe camera here and the Simply Safe base station, so I know what those are at. The other ones here, unnamed devices, I would recommend that as you're adding devices, go in and make sure that you're naming them properly so you can monitor stuff like this. But up in the top corner, we can go from real time to 1 day, 7 days, 30 days. If we check on the last 7 days, here is the internet usage from these devices. Now, obviously my phone is going to be the most because I do use that the most, but from here, you can check on which devices are using the most data. If we back out of here, you can tap on Wi-Fi points. It's going to show you both of your points and what the connection is on there. Back out again, click on internet, and it's going to show you your internet speeds. Now it runs these tests a few times a day. You can see yesterday it ran it 3 times. I did not run those, it ran it itself just to monitor on how your internet is averaging throughout the day. Now there's a tab on the top where on speed right now we can click on usage. This is going to tell us how much data we used in a day. So if you have an internet provider that caps you at a certain amount and starts charging you or slowing you down once you've hit your cap, this is a great way to monitor how much data you're using, which devices are using the most data, and be able to dial that back if needed. All right, so now that we've looked at the software, I want to take a look at the hardware, especially the Point here, because the Point has the Google Assistant built into it. Now, if you're not familiar with Google Assistant, you can control it by tapping on the side. So we got volume down, volume up right there. And as you're turning the volume up and down, the light underneath is going to get dimmer and brighter. Also, if you are listening to music on this device, you can tap in the middle to pause and play if you're listening to music. So each one of these units can support up to 100 devices. So in my setup that I have here with the router and the Point, I can support up to 200 devices connected to my mesh network. Now that is probably way more than you're gonna need, but it's nice to be able to have that room if you need it. One thing that's nice with the Google Assist is that you can check your internet speed with your voice. Hey Google, what's my internet speed?
Sure, testing the internet speed. I'll tell you the results shortly. Your network speed test has finished. The download speed on SteveDoes is currently 119 megabits per second, and the upload speed is 110 megabits per second.
So you can always use your device to check your speed if you feel that things are getting kind of slow. Now, one thing I do wish is that I wish that the router had more ports on it. So we saw that it did have the 1 port. It would have been nice if there were more ports, but I feel like if they added more ports, that would take away from the nice form factor look that these things are providing. So I like that they at least have 1 port that we can hook a switch up to if we need the extra ports. Now, I wish they would have put at least 1 network port in the Points here. Now, I know it is a wireless Wi-Fi network, but having a network port on these would have just been a nice thing to have. Another thing that these devices are lacking is that they don't come with Wi-Fi 6. Now, overall, that doesn't really matter because most of my devices are not Wi-Fi 6 compatible, but it would have been nice if they incorporated that to future-proof these items down the road. So my final thoughts with this product right here is that I really like the look and design that they provide. This is something that you can have in the middle of your living room and not be embarrassed that it is out there. I love the added functionality with the Google Assist built into the Point. These things are so simple to set up and operate. You've got the family and guest networks that you can also use to set up, and they really do a good job of helping you monitor the data that's being used in your house. And I also like that these are scalable. If you decide later down the road that you want to add more of these to strengthen your mesh network, you can always do that. All in all, this is a solid choice of a Wi-Fi network. If you guys want to know more about this device or other devices that might be useful to you guys, check out reviews.com. I will leave a link in the description below. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know that you liked it. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. I want to thank you guys for joining me here at reviews.org, and I'll see you in the next one.